We are innovative. We have the largest FDI coming into the country. But why is it not seen on the ground? And I specifically want to ask, why is it not seen in the inflation numbers and the unemployment numbers? Let's take only those two. Now, what are the unemployment numbers? And I'm going by official numbers. The government doesn't like the CMIE numbers, so we'll avoid the CMIE numbers. Mercifully, the BJP no longer talks about 2 crore jobs being created every year. Thank you for small mercies that you're not making these tall claims. That's one of the election jumlas. I didn't know the word jumla unless I heard it first from the Honorable Home Minister. Now let's focus on a few numbers. This is official numbers of the Periodic Labour Survey. And keep in mind, most employment in this country is self-employment, 57%. Regular wage employees has declined from 24% to 21%. Apart from the quantity, the quality of employment is also poor. So I want the government to answer, why is this 10-year splendid period not reflecting in employment figures? The GDP will double in their Amrit Kal period under the NDA government. Will it grow to 200 lakh crore by March 2024? And I want the Honorable Finance Minister to answer that question.
Thank you. Thank you. So the former Finance Minister made a very linear comparison as to how the GDP has grown from 1991-92, 25 lakh crore, and then 50 lakh crore, and then 100 lakh crores, and so on, and then wondered if I will say that by the end of 23-24, India will have 100 lakh crore as the GDP. That is, if I heard him right, he said going by the trend of doubling every 10 years, it might. So I'm confident that the question is asked with a certain sense of confidence that the Indian economy and people are contributing for its growth. But I would only refer to one editorial which appears today in a paper. I'm not saying my view, but if you would permit me, and I will also do an authentication and everything else. There is an editorial in the Economic Times today, which says, a $4 trillion plus we go. GDP expected to catch up in the coming fiscal. And goes to elaborate, and there's just one line that I'll read for the House, for the benefit of the House, and I quote, as India's GDP rises, would the market cap rise in tandem? Though there is no direct correlation, there could be significant wealth effects that provide tailwinds to the economy. Retail investors own 10% of the equity, about $400 billion, and their share has been rising. That should help consumption, which accounts for close to 60% of the GDP. So, linking that to the growth of the GDP itself, this write-up, which is an editorial in a paper, which is a pink paper, which observes the Indian economy, we get a picture and a probable answer to the former Finance Minister. Sir, then the worker population ratio was also another issue that the Honorable former Finance Minister raised. I just want to highlight incorrect it was for him to suggest that the worker population ratio has not improved. There is Obviously, he's done some kind of a, if you permit me, whimsical calculation there and then, and which serves him well, and the interpretation is not right. As per the PLFS, that is the Periodic Labor Force Survey, WPR, the worker population ratio, that is the share of the employed in the total population, has increased to 56% in 2022-23 from 46.8% in 2017-18. And I underline the fact that this is post-COVID, that it has gone up to 56%. So there is an increase in the worker population ratio, and this is government's data. So youth unemployment rate, that is the age between 15 to 29, has declined. Unemployment rate has declined to 10% in 2022-23 from 17.8% in 17-18. So there, the unemployment is also declined, while youth LFPR has expanded from 38% to 44.5% over the same period. So unemployment is coming down. You have the data to show it's also, employment is also going up. In fact, sir, WPR in 2005 was 42%, which fell to 38.6% in 2011-12. So fall happened then. Then, despite a COVID, which is a once-in-a-century pandemic, we have revived the employment, and the data shows that very clearly. And also, sir, the various schemes that we have, Mudra or Swanidhi and so on, are promoting self-employment, particularly the lower sections of our society. More than 25 lakh crores have been dispersed to over 44 crore Mudra accounts. 68% of them are women. They do their own business and probably employ one or two more people there. 73 lakh street vendors have availed of cheap credit under PM Swanidhi program, and even in that, 44% are women. So I think the hard work and the entrepreneurial spirit of the Indian youth who go in for small self-employment cannot be ignored at convenience and cannot be raised saying, oh, the poor are without jobs at some other time. There should be some kind of a alignment. So this was raised by very many members, other than former Finance Minister Kanimuri, Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal, and also Sujit Kumarji, Jose K. Mani, all of them had raised this issue. So then the attempt to bring more employment, self-employment among women is also shown by the program that has been recently launched. And I saw with my eyes when I went to the rural areas, particularly with the Vikasit Bharat Sankalp Yatra, I saw the excitement among women because Namo Drone Didi program is an amazing reception that I saw, where the women self-help group women are being picked up based on their interest, to be given 15 days of training to operate drone, and subsequently in the 15 days, 5 days will be also on the field, where they will go and test for themselves how to operate it, because they can use for spraying of fertilizers, for monitoring the crop health, and so on. So they are going to be given drones as well through their SHGs. So women are now going to be handling technology-driven drones in the villages to help agricultural activity, and what can be more empowering for the women in the rural areas? Government's idea is to distribute 15,000, provide 15,000 drones to self-help groups, and for this an outlay of 1,261 crores. This scheme is 100% funded by the central government for a period between 2024-25 and 25-26. 2 years, this scheme will reach all the women in the rural areas so that they're trained in technologically handling this drone.